Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Look, here's something that's big in the news and it's going to be happening a lot. California Pizza Hut operators laying off all delivery drivers. However, a lot of these delivery drivers aren't aware that they actually can be getting up to $50,000 in business funding to continue growing their business. So they just look at themselves as employees, but they actually should be looking at themselves as independent contractors, all right? Now, the reason that they're actually doing this is because of this. Fast food chains that have more than 60 locations, they have to start paying $20 an hour, right? So since they're looking at it like that, guess how many companies are going to start doing this tactic? Now, here's the thing about California. Most Californians that are laid off, they get up to 2 years of unemployment benefits. Now, here's where this can actually be an advantage to any delivery drivers if you understand this. Here's the situation. First, you want to structure yourself as a business, okay? Now, most people, they would structure themselves as an LLC. Now, I would tell you don't do that, especially if you're receiving unemployment benefits. The reason is because if you structure yourself as an LLC, okay, and you're receiving unemployment benefits, you have to marry that together, and that pushes up your adjusted gross income. Also, it can disqualify you from unemployment benefits in the future, right? So this is the reason why you don't want to do that. You want to start with a corporation, all right? And there's many benefits to a corporation. One of the biggest benefits to a corporation is that in terms of when you operate as a corporation and you put yourself on payroll, then you're able to dictate how much you're able to qualify for, and before you actually get your unemployment benefits disqualified, right? Now, here's the thing about it. I tell people to start out with a corporation, and if you have problems with choosing the right type of corporation, click the link and schedule one-on-one consultation. But the interesting thing about this is that because of the banks, see, when you operate as a limited liability company, the banks don't look at you as a growth company, right? Unless you have high revenue. However, when you operate as a corporation, they automatically consider you a growth company, even though you may not have high revenue. All right. Now, that's the first thing, structuring yourself in the right business structure. The next thing you want to do as a Pizza Hut delivery driver or a delivery driver anywhere, you want to sign up with as many of these delivery companies as possible. Now, going back to this here structure, you want to make sure that you're signing up with your EIN instead of your social. Again, this is going to help you minimize your tax liability because all the revenue is coming into the company. This is also going to position you for more funding as well. All right. Now, we got that out of the way. The next thing you want to do, if you have challenging credit, a low credit score, you need to look for the low-hanging fruit. Okay, so now understanding the low-hanging fruit, there would be lenders that may not look at the credit, which those are like tier 4 lenders, most of them, and we're going to talk about those. And then lenders that will work with you if you have below a 650 credit score. Okay, so one of the lenders we're talking about here is like Spark One Classic. Okay, all you need is a 580 credit score for this business credit card. And yes, most of the time, even if you had an account with Capital One on the personal side and that account was charged off, usually Capital One is more forgiving than other institutions, and they will still help you qualify for this Capital One Spark Business Classic. Okay, now the thing about it with this here card, it does report both on the business and the personal side, but however, it would definitely help you start getting business credit funding. All right, and it's stated income. Now, your next lender you want to look at is Dreamspring. Now, with Dreamspring, they are a FICO non-TransUnion, okay? And they go through upstart in terms of funding, but giving out the funding. But with Dreamspring, they are a non-profit, okay? And so what they do for startup business and things like that that aren't making money and they're just starting out, all you need usually is about a 620 credit score. Now, your DTI, your debt to income ratio, it cannot be over 50%. All right. However, that being said, one of the things that I want you all to understand, I would not be going for their personal loan, their business loans. I would be going for their power line of credit. Now, the reason is because of this revolving line. All right, it's a revolving line of credit. So once you are approved for it, you do not have to keep on applying for it. Now, one of the downsides about Dreamspring that you must know is that with their situation is that they do report on the business side as well as the personal side. Now, again, like I said, it's TransUnion FICO 9, which is great because I always tell you, if a company is a Vantage scoring institution or a FICO 9, those are the best ones to work with because you can add utility bills, you can add rent payments, you can add subscriptions, and you can add authorized users to help build up that Vantage score or that FICO 9 score. Okay, now, in reference to the authorized users, I would definitely tell you, you do not want to add more than 2 authorized users to the credit file. Okay, so that's the reason it's so important that you understand that, because if you add 3, then what you're doing, you're taking chances of the file being flagged because it's inflating the numbers to the point where it's not building the credit anymore. So that's the reason I tell you guys, stick to at least 2. All right, now I know there are videos out there, people saying, well, authorized users don't work anymore, and that's not true. The reason it's not true because banks encourage you to add family members on as authorized users to help them build their credit. So that's the reason I'm telling you, authorized users work. All right. Now, if you don't know the right authorized user to put on the credit file, I'll put a link. You schedule one-on-one, and I can actually tell you which would be the best authorized users to put on the credit file. Now, again, going back to this power line of credit with Dreamspring, as you can see, it's up to $50,000. Okay, so that's the great part about this. It's very flexible. Dreamspring, actually, if you're familiar with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they're the biggest contributors to this type of institution. Okay, now, for those of you that may already be structured and you're needing some funding right away, and you have income coming in, then you may want to look at Giggle Finance. So with Giggle Finance, as you can see, they give up to $5,000. And the great part about this is with no credit check. Now, one of the things I want you all to understand about this type of lending institution is that it's like a merchant cash advance. So you're going to have high interest rate. But if you're worried about your credit score and not being able to get qualified for traditional lending, this may be a place that can help you, okay? So being a Pizza Hut delivery driver, of course, you're going to put a lot of miles. You're going to wear out the tires. You're going to need oil changes and stuff. So having access to that capital to help keep your vehicle going and stuff like that is definitely one of the places you want to go to, especially if you worried or concerned about the credit. All right. Now, there's another lender out there, and they don't look at the credit as well, and this is Fundo, and they offer up to $10,000. Okay. Now, for those of you, again, here's the thing about it, so you can understand in terms of who they are willing to give money to. Freelancers, Uber, Lyft, Rideshare, TaskRabbit, okay? So if you're a Pizza Hut driver, you definitely going to fit this here, or a delivery driver, you're definitely going to fit this criteria. Truckers, taxis, salon, contractors, sellers, and franchisees. So multiple people. Now, one of the things about it, when you sign up with these type of institutions, again, merchant cash advance type of, the interest rates is high, but you also have to plug in your business bank account, your personal bank account, showing that this money is coming from Uber and Lyft. Now, one of the things I continue to tell people, you're leaving money on the table if you're not operating as a structured business, because that way you can actually continue to keep yourself separated from the business, and that will protect you. But also, a lot of lenders would just look at the operations of the business and the revenue of the business in order to help you get access to funding. Now, here's the minimum. You have to be making at least $1,500 monthly. So as a Pizza Hut driver, I'm pretty sure many of them were making that. And then also you have to have been in business for at least 3 months. All right. Now, there's one other institution I want to share with you all, and this is Fairfigure. Now, they offer business credit cards as well. Okay. So it's not about the credit. Now, the good thing about it, all of your business transactions and stuff like that, they're like NAB, okay? So they are business credit reporting institution, okay? That's exactly what they are. But one of the good things about it is that all of your transactions with their product, with their credit cards, as well as other products, they report it to Equifax, Fundex, CreditSafe, Experian, TransUnion. Plus, they actually give you access to your personal credit as well. Usually it's going to be like your Experian and TransUnion, and most of the time it's going to be on a Vantage scoring system. Okay, so by being on a Vantage scoring system, then you would have to find institutions that actually use a Vantage score. All right. Now, in terms of finding an institution that uses a Vantage score, I can definitely show you this, something that definitely will help you out. This is BCU, Baxter Credit Union. Okay. Now, they offer business credit cards, money market accounts and stuff, but they use this Vantage TransUnion score. So whenever you go over to Credit Karma and you looking at those scores, those are Vantage scores. Okay. Those are not FICO scores. So you want to go to an institution like this. Now, this type of institution is non-geo restricted, meaning anybody can join. And the way that you're able to join this institution through these 4 ways is the way you join BCU. Employment, community, charter, family, life money, U organization, where you pay $5, but they actually waive the $5. Once you join this organization, then you send your information in to them to join and everything. Now, I'm going to tell you one key, especially if you're trying to get business credit funding from this type of institution. I would tell you to open up a personal checking account, a personal savings account, a business account, and a CD. The reason is because more products you have with them, the more willing they are to give you money. Not only that, if you have a CD with them at least 9 months or longer, they see that you are a longevity type of client, so they're willing to give you access to more funding. All right. Now, for those of you, like I said, that are delivery drivers, whether it's Pizza Hut or any type of other delivery driver, you're trying to get access to business credit funding, this is probably one of the easiest ways to do it, so that not only you minimize your tax liability, but you're able to access more business credit funding. So if you have any other questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off of the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule one-on-one consultation. Thank you.